I'll give you a full list of the colours before we go much further. There's white, burnt umber, Prussian blue, cobalt blue, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, violet, indigo, warm red, cool red, burnt sienna, raw sienna, viridian, phthalo green, warm yellow and Indian yellow. The colours are the same for oils or acrylic. In most of the lessons I'll be using acrylic paints. I find it cheaper and much easier to clean up. The acrylic paint these days is very good quality. Now, seeing you're learning to paint and you're learning to teach others to paint, it's not necessary to buy expensive paints. You should learn to use the student quality acrylics or oils. There's two colours you might need to buy in the artist quality, and that would be phthalo blue and Indian yellow. The full list of colours is quite a long list. You might not want to buy some of the colours. You might not want to use the violet or the indigo blue, and you can get away with Prussian green or phthalo green rather than the viridian if you wish. You can paint away for months in burnt umber and white, and if you do, you'll be very well rewarded because you'll learn a lot about tones and you get very familiar with the brush strokes. Prussian blue is another colour that you can paint with in monocolour, Prussian blue and white. So let's have a look at the colours. White, titanium white for oils. In acrylics, white is often labelled blank or just white or titanium white. Burnt umber. This is a strong dark brown. It always seems to be just right consistency when it comes out of the tube. Prussian blue. Prussian blue is the colour of the night sky. It's very handy for painting moonlight scenes. It's great to paint monocolours in. You do not have to have Prussian blue, but it's a handy colour. Cobalt blue. We use a lot of cobalt blue. This is for your distant mountains, and we make the greys when we mix it with our crimson and we add a little bit of raw sienna. Cobalt blue is often called cool blue. Phthalo blue is a very strong pigment and ideal for blending with the white for our midday skies. It's too strong to make greys with. If you try to mix it with other colours, it becomes overpowering. So the phthalo blue is for our skies. Ultramarine blue can be used for the colour of a morning sky. Ultramarine blue has a lot of red in it. It's quite a warm blue. Violet. There's quite a few different violets. I think cobalt violet is my favourite. If you wish to use the violet for your violet paintings or for painting jacaranda trees, pick a very strong violet. Indigo is more or less Prussian blue and black. It's a good colour to work with if you want to do some monocolours and if you want to paint a stormy sky. Warm red is fire engine red. There's many warm reds. Cadmium red is probably the most common warm red. Vermilion is another warm red, quite common. Cool red is simply crimson. Alizarin crimson is very common. The crimson is for the background red, and we mix it with the cobalt blue and a little bit of raw sienna to give us the greys. Burnt sienna is a red. It's an earthy red-brown. We use it for painting in our roadways, for the sun shining on the rocks. We put it in the bark of our trees, and it looks good on the rusty roofs of sheds and houses. Raw sienna is a yellow. It's a faded yellow that we use in the background. We use quite a lot of raw sienna. We use it for our base colour for our distant greens. Viridian is a dark green. It's the colour of a leaf or foliage right in front of your face. So we never use this very often straight out of the tube. It's just too strong a green. But it's a great tint to put through your paintings. And if you use it right from the background tones of green to the foreground tones of green, and mix it in with your colours just a little bit, it'll give you the same tone right through your painting. This makes your painting look very natural. Phthalo green is a brilliant rainforest colour green. It's transparent and it looks great when you do monocolour paintings with it. Prussian green is very much the same. Warm yellow. Warm yellow is any yellow that is warm, and you can tell it's warm because it looks more like an orange than a lemon. Cadmium yellow is possibly the most common warm yellow. Indian yellow. This is the colour of a golden wheat field in the sunlight. Indian yellow is marketed under some other names sometimes. Art Spectrum, the Australian paint manufacturer, have an Indian yellow, but they also have an Australian red gold, which I prefer. Matisse have Australian sienna. So the colours you really need most of are the white, you need plenty of white, cool blue, crimson or cool red, warm yellow and raw sienna. The next on your shopping list should be the phthalo blue and the Indian yellow. So you can kick off with just a few colours, but I think the burnt umber and white is the best to kick off with, and practice away in the monocolour paintings.